firstly, I think that I will prepare some professional presentation with 100 slides to show you how that's important for us and how the processes are difficult and how we are deep in that. Something stopped me, and I decided to prepare the speech when I will arrive to the United States. This is my first time in America.
Welcome.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. It was the right decision because when I arrived, I totally had different plan. Okay, I will not have 100 slides, maybe 20, but I need to tell something important. So I asked myself, with what feeling I want you all to leave this room, what emotion, what I want to give you. And I decided not to prepare the presentation at all. In my caption under my email, you will find out that I'm like a managing director of ICM. That sounds great. But the truth is I'm the daughter of the owner of company. My father owned the company. And if you think it's easy, it's not. I came to ICM when I was 17 years old. It was 11 years ago. And I came to the totally different building. It looked totally not like that. And I came just like to help with some emails to my father. As I studied there in the university, and your English is not so bad. Please come to write some emails and reply some orders that we have. Okay, now it's 11 years since I answered the emails. And I have never thought that I will stay at ICM, that I will work, and we will never thought to establish like a family business. But after my first exhibition in Germany, it was a toy fair, like a trade fair. Something happened with me. And I saw the hobby, and I saw the people, and I saw the eyes, and I saw the product, and I saw that it seems to me it's like some plastic things that is falling down from the injection machines, and we are putting in some boxes and sending somewhere. But when I was there in a trade fair, I realized that is the hobby, and that is the passion, and that is something that distracts people, and something that gives emotions. And it makes so deep sense to me about our work. And the second such a stage for me was when the war started. I suddenly realized and saw all the small cars and armor that we are producing is on the street.
Yeah.
Oh, really? And that gave me the really deep sense of this hobby. And as I say, we have to leave the war only in plastic. So I decided not to prepare any presentation today, but I will show you today 2 short videos. I have never shown it before. I'm kindly asking you not to make the videos of that. Not because it's a top secret, no. It's just because my own, I became like a superstitious, if it's correct word. Because the place that you see, it's my second home. And it is located in the suburbs of Kyiv. We have everything that we have at ICM, we have over there. And it's located in the suburbs of Kyiv, nearby really important military objects. And nearby, around 10 kilometers away, somewhere, we don't know where exactly, but located the Patriot anti-missile system. And in our roof and in our fans, sometimes it's falling the pieces of Russian rocket that are heated. And I actually hold it in my hand, this one piece weighs 1.5 kilos. So when the rockets are heated, they are falling everywhere and can cause the fire. As we hold the paper and the plastic, So this video I made this year for the trade fair in Germany, just to show our business partners that we exist, that we run, that we are trying to be stable inside this building, no matter what's happening outside. So that's only the reason why I didn't post it in YouTube, on Facebook. That's the reason why I have never shown it to the end customers. That is really, really important building for all my family. And the second one video I will show you, this is filmed by the professional team. So we invited the operators, some team to show it, and they asked me why it is so clean there. I have never prepared, it's always clean there, actually, because this is our second home, really. When the war started, we ran out from Kyiv, of course, this production and this building was closed for 1 month. When we had the opportunity, me and my father, to physically enter this one door, because I'm entering this one door every morning. When I physically had the opportunity to enter it, we cried. Because we didn't expect that it could exist anymore. And the second one video that I will show you, this is actually my family video. My father turned this year 50. And we had some kind of small celebration, but I decided to show him, for him, firstly, what he built. To show him that the result is this one. Because we are running all the day and all the times for some achievements and for some new products for some kids. And in this run, sometimes we forget to say thank you for that we have, and just to realize that we did something good. So the second one video you will see, that's just my family video. I decided not to change it at all and to show you as it is. I just translated some phrases. I decided to leave the music, leave something else. In the end of this video, actually, there were like a congratulations from each team member of our company to my father. I decided not to show you with it because it is 20 minutes video. But I think you will enjoy it, and I'm sure that this two video will give you the feeling and the understanding what ICM is it for us. And that was the reply to my question, what the emotion I want you to leave from this room, what emotion I want you to have, and what is my purpose to come to IPMS Nationals in general. I want you to show that behind the box that you are taking in your hand, behind your suggestions, behind the plastic part, the quality and instruction is standing the real people. That you are buying kits not from some mysterious company that you don't know, that you're buying kits from me, that you're buying kits from my father, that you're buying kits from Yulia, who's here with me today, that you're buying kits from us. And if you have, I want you to have the feeling that same when you are physically come to the shop and see that guy from who you buy the kits. I want you to have the same feeling about the ICM, no matter that is delivered from Ukraine, from another continent. So, hope you enjoy.
Hi there, how are you? Can you hear me? Okay. I've heard that Eastern European plastic tends to be characterized a little bit differently, as a softer, more velvety or velvet-like texture to it. The formulation seems to be different and seems to be regional. What can you tell us about the formulations of plastic that you use?
I just can tell you that that is a question that we always discuss inside our production. But they persuade me that considering that types of mold and the detailing, splits of detailing that we have, and the machines that we have, the formulation that we use is the best one for us to not to use the special like characteristics, I don't know, like a pressure for the injection machines to control that all the tiny details will be injected. Okay. And I also know that the too hard plastic is not also be good.
No, you don't want that plastic to be too hard. Who in your company decides what you will put out next? Is it a group decision, or is it like Tamiya, where one guy
No,
says this is what
it's a group decision, and it's like not a rule but it's like kind of funny process inside the company. It very varies, depends on the topic, but we are starting to make the range for the next year really in advance. So now is July, and our schedule for the 2025 is overbooked. So we already have the range for next year, and now need to cancel something from that because we cannot physically do this. How this actually happen? We have the internal meetings. Everyone is sitting together. It's my father, of course, and the most unexpected ideas in, let's say, unexpected ideas in our catalog, in our range, is created by him. Most of them are canceled and denied, and just pray not to do this. We're just praying, someone of us, or the marketing department, or the mostly engineers, because when he came and tell, oh, you know, let's make a CH54 in a 35 scale. Yeah, you can imagine what that was. But he said he's not a modelist, actually. So I think it's advantage of the company that inside the team there are not a modelers like us and the modelers and the historical. So the combination of this can make us like win-win process, both for distributors, just make the products easy to sell, and some unexpected items, let's say. And the most interesting ideas went from him, but there are, of course, some you guys, the customers, write us so many letters and so many messages, and I actually see all of them because the mail address, the support ICM.com.ua, where the over replacement or suggestions part is always, I check it all the time in my cell phone, actually. And you offer and suggest so many kits in all the social medias, in the YouTube, in the Facebook, Instagram, writing mails, writing really the handwritten letters literally to us. So this year we decided just to make like a Google form, and if you fill it with your suggestion and we take it to the range, you will receive the free kit. I'm writing. It exists only 2 months, but more than 5,000 offers we have. But thanks God, because it is the Google form, I can just filter it by scales or by something at least, and have it in one place. So it's always there. And then we just settle the main items for the next year, which take us the biggest like quantity of machine time. And then we just see what is stay for the modifications of other aircraft. And so that way, trying to fill the range for next year. Each year we have from 60 till 72 new items. It's mean 6 or 7 items like per month, plus 2 paint sets. So we are trying not to make the quantity of new items too big. So we understand that the distributors and the customers have to work with it in some way. So we're trying to keep it limit like that.
Got a question back here, Valeriia?
Yeah, on your video, it looks like you do your own tooling and things like that. So I'm kind of curious, do you do anything outside, or are you all self-contained? And then my second question is, once you decide on a subject on that day, what's the lead time typically before it starts hitting the streets?
For the first question, we have everything in-house. We don't outsource like anything except of printing boxes and printing decals. So the molds and then injection and the researches and the 3D mostly, but all the molds are made in-house. And the second question, what is the lead time for the process? It's really depends on type of products. Because, for example, for the figure set, it's easier. For the 135 scale on 132 scale, we have 3 months of lead time from the receiving of the final researches to making the master model, to produce the molds, and to have the final sprue in the hands. Only 3 months. For example, like we are now in the process of making the 3D for the Black Hole, which will be released in October or November, I don't remember. The 3D takes us 2.5 months. The mold will take us around 2.5 months more. So that's I will not tell you about the CH54. It's crazy, and the B26 actually.
I had a question here, Valeriia.
Hi there. I'm just curious about what the market has looked like before the invasion to after the invasion. Has it really affected the domestic distribution, or have you seen after the invasion an increase in foreign markets wanting your product? I certainly feel in our club, we've really wanted to support Ukrainian manufacturers buying more Ukrainian kits, but have you seen a surge in your sales with that? And has it made up for maybe any of the domestic sale drop off just with the reality of war and invasion?
You will be surprised with my answer. Let's divide it to two parts. The first one, domestic one, and the next, the foreign one. Domestic market in Ukraine grown 3 times since the big invasion.
Wow.
Yeah. The quantity of distributors, the quantity of shops, the quantity of clubs, the quantity of members in that clubs increased a lot. Like an example, we have in near our production like a club for children, and one of our employee worked there as a teacher, and he went to war since the invasion started. So he was in the front line like for 1.5 years. He was injured, returned to work, and here I want to point out that we at ICM continue to pay all the salaries, the 100% of the salaries to all the guy who left to work, and their places at ICM physically, and their working places are physically empty the time till they return. They are really their chairs waiting for them physically, and that was the one guy who unfortunately was injured and he returned. But now actually he was in Kyiv for 1 year, and last week I know that he will go to Odessa for some interview because he wants to work as the repairman in some aircraft factory. Okay, so he wants to return to service, and he is a teacher in one of the modeling club. And before the war, there were like from 10 to 12 children, and most of them were little one, like 6-7 years old, and they're pushed by their mothers and fathers to do something instead of computers. But when he returned, now it is 47 children, and most of them are teenagers. So that means that they're consciously come there. So it was their decision, and the market grown because the people need to distract from that. They need to separate from that. They need something doing by hands. Don't go crazy in their minds. And also helps, we launched the Brave Ukraine series, you may know, with the Ukrainian vehicles and armor and Ukrainian figures, and it's a really big thing for us. And this month we issue the new item with the chevrons and the signs for the figures in 35 scale, and they are chevrons of the people who served from our company. It was important for us to put their brigade in the chevron. For example, the Yulia's brother, he is the chief of intelligence brigade, and his brigade is also there in that set. My uncle is a tank man. He's the chief of tank brigade now in Donbass, and he is painted on the box art. So there is a tiny thing that you don't know, but is important for us. And that caused the market grow also. New companies appeared, new brands bring to the Ukraine, distribution of new brands, so that grows a lot. About the foreign market, firstly, the best months of ICM of the sales, best months is difficult, it's not the proper word to say, because it was the worst months actually for our feelings, but the highest sales we had in May 2022, immediately after we reopened again. We were closed for 1 month since the invasion started, and we renewed in early April. So we skipped the March and April new items. They decided to make the May one, and we had the highest sale that month because people wanted to support Ukraine. And what we did, we just made the Ghost of Kyiv model kit. It was not a secret that there is inside an old MiG-29, existing MiG-29, But we are announced that we will give all the profits from these model kits to Ukrainian army. We sold of them so many, like around 15,000 were sold. And all the money, we bought the cars, we bought the drones, we are still buying some armaments, and we support these brigades with everything that they need. So the foreign market changed at that time, but now, of course, I think all manufacturers have same feeling. The things are going worse in the world, the level of the inflation, and even not the inflation, but the expectation of the inflation is already made people not to buy so many model kits as before. But that doesn't mean that you don't build models. I assume that all of you have a large stashes and you just come into that and select what you will be.
He knows us too well.
That's my job, you know. So why I understand it, because I see that the sales of the paints, of the instruments, of auxiliary is not falling down, they are increasing. And or at least keeping at the same level. That means that people continue to build models, but trying to spend money and to buy model kits more carefully, like that.
How many units do you actually produce of a single subject?
We have own production, so it doesn't limit us as many other manufacturers. Just we don't need to produce to predict how many we will sell and produce exactly quantity. We keep, as you see in the video, all the items in spruce, so we don't keep it as a ready-made items. And in case something is run out and out of stock, we just put the mold on an injection machine and produce it. So, for example, like Marauder, we produced the first one 5,000 pieces because it was like around the 2 months or pre-order from all the distributors. But for example, like repacking items, we produce around 1,000 pieces, but it doesn't mean that we can just put the molds on the machine and just inject something else, some more. Yeah.
How many units do you have to make to break even on the tooling?
It really depends on tooling, really. And I cannot tell you the exact quantity because it's not exist.
Rough number.
It's really depends. It's really depends. For example, CH45 was a bestseller of previous year in terms of the quantity, and of course it is profitable. But for example, like we issued the Humvee previous month, and this is the period where yesterday we didn't have the electricity in Kiev 14 hours from 24 hours. That's me. Our production working 24 hours per day. It never stops. So we have the day and night shift at the production. That means that we need some alternative ways of power to maintain all the machines and to maintain the stable power, because previous months there were power outages and there was like an unstable level of power, and 1 hour machine is now broken. The second one machine broke, how to say, okay, inside, let's say that. The one injection machine, it was burned the brains that we have electrical, so, and it takes much more time for us to produce it. There are unexpected costs of that, and the 14 hours of working on the diesel generators, on 2 of them. Each of them takes 19 liters of diesel per hour. So now Humvee is not profitable because it was released last month, but the cost of production is going really, really high.
Larry, I got a question back here.
Yeah, what is your relationship with other Ukrainian manufacturers like ResKit and others? Do you continuously talk and dialogue with each other and keep in close contact?
Of course, sure. There are many manufacturers in Ukraine, and we are not a friends, but we are really, sometimes we are a team, actually. For example, with the ResKit, we cooperate with some kit that is for the items that they need, because we are both interested, and actually with Edward, who is here, we also cooperate with some kit data, because we are interested that their items will feed us our items perfectly. This will promote both their and our products. In Ukraine, with the REST kit, we cooperate with some information with all of them, with Masterbox, with Rodan, with who made A models, with the Miniar who moved to Poland. We are not friends. We are not like having dinner and a barbecue together, but it's very easy for me, for example, to call Alina from Miniar and ask for some advice, or just to ask her opinion about some countries of distribution, and just to talk about how are you and how are you. So we are quite friendly, and this is my position, not only in Ukraine, but in the whole world. The market is so tiny, and we will meet in any way someday, somewhere, in some projects or in some shows. We are friendly. I'm happy that there are so many manufacturers now, because it's just simply developing the market. Okay. Any questions? Oh.
About how many people are on staff at ICM, if you can
Around
tell us that?
150 at all, but at factory work 84. Yeah, exactly. In the factory work 84, and the other people work like as outsourced designers, artists, historicals, and so on. Oh, more questions? Okay, so should we shift to the second one video? Don't judge it. It's a really family video. It's really that I did for my father. What I wanted to say, I know that all of you support Ukraine, and I feel that so much. And each of you come to our tables and say the word, I'm sorry for emotions, I'm giving. And I feel that. And I'm really surprised in a great way the scale of your support. We are so grateful to the United States and to all the people. We know that only thanks to you, for example, personally, I have the opportunity to live in Kyiv because nearby my home and my factory, the Patriot is located. I don't know where it is located, but we know the sound of it. I know that you want support, and I want that all of you want some even guy come to me on the tables and give me cash money and asking just let's give it to the army. So I want to tell you that we are making it instead of you. Most of our profit at ICM we're sending to the army because we are sending to our guys. And you see on the last picture, the people with my father, he actually load all the stuff that the guys need in the front line in his personal car, sitting in the car and driving to the front line to bring it there. We with you that's gone crazy about that and ask not to do that, but he's really do. And he just arrived there to cook for them something, to have some meat for them, just to have some rest. And there was a funny story when they were located in Kherson, and the drones are flying everywhere, so you cannot in night just have a fire in the street to fry some meat. They just hide that fire and cook there something and have the food for the guys. So I'm just wanted to tell you that we are at ICM support our guys, and we have the three guys that we are sponsor. So we are doing that also, and instead of you. So I just want you to know that buying ICM kits, you support all the people that you saw on the pictures. So I think you just have some more understanding about the ICM, about the people inside, and you feel it. If you have some more questions, just feel free to discuss. Sure.
Oh, just one second.
Not really a question. Just want to tell both of you ladies thank you. If they haven't shared with the room, it was a 50+ hour trip for them to make it here. They've been working diligently every day. It is a pleasure to have met both of you. And we all wish you safe travels on your next journey. And more importantly, safe travels to your loved ones in getting home.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Come back next year.
We will. I've already booked the tables for the next year. Please come.
Real quick, can you explain or describe a normal day at the factory where you do have an air raid siren and so on? How do you handle it, and how do your people come into work and go home? Just a normal day in this situation. It's
Okay.
it would be. I think it would be very interesting to all of us.
Okay, I get it. We have the rule in the company. So if there was a bombing at night, what is mostly often happens, so we just have like a notification in our cell phone that is informing us that Russians 224 has taken off and they're flying to the launching points near our borders. So it's our like channels inform us that we have around 4 hours till they fly, and then they will launch rockets. It will take around 40 minutes to cross the border of Ukraine. It means that at 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m. roughly, the Kyiv will be bombed. So most people, and me neither, we need to go to the bomb shelter to sleep. And personally, I have a small daughter, which was born during the war. And it was our choice to born him in Ukraine. And he speaks only Ukrainian. He don't know Russian language. We speak Russian, really. So it's okay. We're not about the language, this one. But he just speaks only Ukrainian, and we build the bomb shelters in our backyard. It's a comfortable one, cool, really fresh, and so we are taking our sleeping baby and physically go to sleep to the bomb shelters. I like sleep there because it is dark and cold, but it's like a new luxury in Ukraine, because the people that work in our factory don't have that possibility, so they have to pick their children and go to the subway station on the ground or to the basement of their house. And so I assume that it's a new luxury for us, actually. So, and we have the rule, if there's bombing at night, our working day at ICM starts at 8:30 a.m. So they can be late for 2 hours. It's not strictly, we are not standing with the watches, but they have the shift to make their day more or less better, just to put the children to the school or something like that. Because we are in Ukraine, like saying that when it was bombing at night, please be more tolerant to people around you, because all the city and all the country didn't sleep well yet. All the people are tired around you. So just be a bit patient when you're driving, when you're somewhere in the public places. So just understand that all of us in that situation, so they can come later, and everyone is starting to work. And there is an air raid siren application in our cell phones, and it's like governmental one. So when they're in Russia, some bombers took off, or they see the activity of the ballistic weapons, the air siren started to shout and shout everywhere in the street. That's the horrible sound that you cannot get used to. In a normal situation, all of us have to go to the bomb shelter. And we have the bomb shelter nearby, so they have just to come out from our territory, like 20 meters go, and there is a bomb shelter. And we didn't open the company in March 22 till we didn't make the bomb shelter safe and clean. It's looked not so good, but it's safe really. And we have to go to the bomb shelter, but the reality is we are checking what is the reason of the air raid siren. Very often the Russians took off the aircraft MiG-31K, which is carrying the ballistic rocket, but they launched it during the old war from that MiG-31 like 1 or 2 times. But they know when they took off the aircraft, we have air raid sirens through all of Ukraine. So the bridges stopped, the old like shopping malls is stopped and closes, the underground is stopped, so it's frozen the city, and they used to that to frozen the city, especially when it's like a Christmas or New Year Eve and everyone is going to shopping for groceries. So we had such sirens 13 times per day. So they want to collapse the city in that time. So they use it like an instrument. So saying the truth, if we see that it is MiG-31, me personally don't go to the shelter. But everyone has its right. They know that the safety is the priority. Throw all of that kit. I don't care about that. You must be safe in life. And if you consider this current moment that it is dangerous to you, you are stop all your work and go into the bomb shelter, no matter MiG is it or not. So it's up to you. It's your right for the life and the safety, and it's a priority in our company. So we are not going. But the last week, when the children's hospital was bombed in Kyiv, as I said, we located in that place where all the rockets is flying over our heads. And we actually saw, me personally, we were at work. Then our news write that this is the rocket. And we have a map in our cell phone, which is showing like which district of the country is now under the risk. So they are actually showing the way how the rocket flying. You just see it over our head. It was hit. It was crazy sound. It's really crazy sounds. And yesterday we had a walk around the city with our friends, and the airplane just was up there, and we just did like that. Airplane. Okay. So it's looked like that. They're going. Last Monday, example, we went to the bomb shelter, sitting there. All the nearby companies also going to that bomb shelter. It's rather big, so we just sitting there reading the news. Okay, when the news say that it is safe, you can go out from the bomb shelters. We are standing and going for our work. And I'm telling my people, don't say that you are sitting work. You are working a lot. So that's like that. And sometimes, of course, it causes big problems with the shipments because we at ICM has the rule. We ship the order to our distributors within 5 working days from the moment of receiving the order till the shipping date. And among the distributor, it is rather fast. Considering the fact that we keep everything in sprues, so we have to prepare the ready-built boxes and to put in it all. And considering that it could be 5 times interrupted by the air raid sirens, sometimes it causes really big troubles. And there is a situation when we just launch new items. All the 5 trucks is waiting on our warehouse with the open docks and waiting for the loading. And we physically just having this spruce from the injection machine and bring it to warehouse and put in the boxes. And the next people just put it from warehouse and put it in the car. Sometimes it happens. It's not the rule. So that's the reality.
Just a second, sir. Just a second.
Great idea.
Thank you.
So there's a lot, and also when I do reviews of your a lot of your kits, whole new aspect. For the review of them, it's very, very touchy stories.
Thanks.
I'm just curious as to how difficult is distribution, both getting raw materials in for your products and shipping them out?
If the scale is 10, it's difficult like 9. I'm joking, but we received the raw materials, the polystyrene from Belgium. Actually, all the shipping ways are working. After the invasion, before on a February 23rd, we shipped a really big order to one of our distributors, and the car was stuck on the border. Of course, nobody cared about that. It was the house, everyone is running. But then in April, like in late March, the humanitarian, am I right? Yeah, the humanitarian trucks starting to go on, and the procedure of giving the drivers the permissions to leave the country. And the man cannot leave the country. That's why my father, my husband, is not here. It is forbidden for men to leave the country, as they could be called to the army any moment. So it's forbidden to leave. And there was a procedure to make the driver special, like licenses or permission to go abroad, to cross the border of Ukraine and then return. And since then, there is no problem actually to ship it from Ukraine. We ship to all countries through all over the world, to United States. We just ship it by trucks. It goes by trucks to Warsaw, for example, in Poland, and then we have the air freight or sea freight from Hamburg, and we ship by trucks through the Europe. It's when we export procedures to get the raw materials is. I'm not saying that it is not a problem. It's just a question that we need to solve every time. So we sometimes use so unusual way of delivery. There are really like a network of people who are driving by their own cars through the Europe and just pick some small orders or some. We just receive the decals this way, actually. Yeah. But thanks to our partners, they accept that and understand that, and so that is the question that we need to solve all the time, like that. But the complexity of the situation, the biggest complexity for me personally, that you don't know in what circumstances you will wake up tomorrow. You don't know what you will deal with tomorrow, because everything could be changed. Everything in your family, your relatives, your guys that are in the front line, your factory, they just over which one. Every time when it is the rockets are hit over our factory, we just sit in at night with my husband and see the cameras. Is it fire? No, it's not fire. Okay, like it's really happened like that. So one day we woke up and realized that the production that made for us the photo-etched part in Ukraine was bombed. He could potentially return to work, but he has there some like I don't know how to say, like cans with the special liquids for that photo-etch. You know better than me. And it was broken all, and we helped them to restore the manufacturing to rebuild it again. But we suddenly are out of photo-etch parts. And we have to suddenly, and I have tomorrow the orders, the shipments, and I need suddenly to solve it some way to take it somewhere. For example, like we are making the production plan for all our new items for the whole year. So we are seated in October, stand it up in December, and all this time we are thoroughly plan issue of each new items and which of these new items will be in which machine in what days. So if it is not the war will be now, I know which date you will receive November releases in your hands. That's how we plan. But now it's not possible. Before I left to the United States this time, we just seated with the father and with all our team and decided, let's just change that plan. Let's just say the truth, we are not able to fulfill it this year. It's painful, I know. It's we have to postpone some items till the next year, but the circumstances is, let's take it as it is. Let's change it, please. He's nervous each month and we are not in time with this new item, with these new items. Please, take a breath, relax. That's the circumstances. We cannot do this. We cannot jump over our head. And we sit together and changed all the production plan, say from July till December. All the plans that we did was broken, and we changed everything. And now, for example, one of new items like Burma Jeep will be postponed till next year. We just physically cannot do it, especially considering that power problems, electricity problems, we just cannot do it. Sorry. Before the war, we are trying to do everything that we could to issue that kit that was announced. It was our motto, I know. But we cannot do it now. We simply cannot do it. I hope the situation will be fixed and will be better, and we will do. But not now. And we forced to change all the production, all the new items of July, which that time would be in 2 weeks. So that means we need boxes, instructions, decals, everything different that have been ordered. We did that. The shipment went last week, and next week we ship the orders of July to all the distributors. We did that. But that was crazy.
We can wait, actually, because we have other models we can build.
You will, even if you can't wait. I'm sorry.
ICM models to build.
Yeah.
I had a question for you. What has been your favorite part about visiting America for the first time?
Not food, sorry. The favorite part. You know, when we that's some personal kind of thing. For me, America is what like another planet. I thought that I have never had the possibility to come here. I don't know why. It's something crazy in my mind. But when we arrived to Chicago, after the 50 hours road, we sit with Yulia it was the Sunday, a lot of people, everyone is partying, some crazy have. We just sit together and we had the dinner in total silence. There is really obvious when you come from another country, especially that country like Ukraine, that you guys free. And the first, I don't know if you consider that. That's my personal feeling. And the second one thought that I have, I want my children to grow up in such environment. I want my children to be free. I want my children to look like as she wants, to speak the language as she wants, to be as the national as she wants, and do everything that she wants. I want just her to be free, and you guys are free. Maybe, of course, I understand that you have all your own problems in your country, and that's obvious. We are also in Ukraine, looking after some news. But the thing that I like most, you can be whoever you want. You can speak language that you want. It not depends how you looks like. You can be whoever you want, and nobody will tell you. Because some countries tell that we cannot speak Ukrainian because the Ukrainians doesn't exist. It don't exist, and there is no such country like Ukraine. What? Yeah. That's the main that I like in the United States.
Awesome. Any more questions or comments?
How can we as individuals help Ukraine?
Buy ICM kits. No, seriously. No, seriously. As I told you, we really helped a lot. So you must be sure. Look, it was our conscious decision to stay in Ukraine. Of course, it is really difficult to move the production. I know the companies who move their production, and it's crazy. I can't imagine how it's going. 6 years ago, when we built up this new building for our production, Our old production located literally in the neighborhood building, but it was in rent and old. And when I was a child, I arrived to my father's office. We go through this place where is now our factory, and he told me some days, I will build here the manufacturing. It was like 15 or many years ago, okay. And when we finished it, we have to move all the machines from this one building just in a 150 meters to the next one. It was crazy process, just because our machines work 24/7. When you just started to lift them up and then pull it down or put it on another place, something inside of the machine could confront. It stops at the different temperatures, the lifts, we moved physically during 1 month, and we set it up the production during 3 months. So I cannot understand how the people cannot carry the production to another countries. And it was our decision. It's not that we have to. It was our decision to stay at home. We want to stay at home. This is our home. We want to be home. We want to help the working places. We want to pay taxes. I don't know. I'm proud to write on the box that it is made in Ukraine. I really feel proud about this. And we support our country with everything that I told you. Just staying in the country, it is already the support from Ukrainians to the country. Just because you just stay there, you live there, you spend money there, you pay your bills there, that helps government in all the ways. You pay taxes there. You support the production, you export the products, you instead import the currency. So I think we are doing the huge job. It's complicated because the people actually leave Ukraine. It's more and more difficult to find the stuff. It's more and more difficult, really. But it's our conscious decision. We will stay in Ukraine as much as we can, and I hope forever. So when you're buying ICM, you're just giving us the opportunity to stay in Ukraine and to do everything that I just said.
Does Yulia's gown have a certain significance? It's a beautiful garment, and I'm just wondering if it has a certain significance.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous.
На твоем платье, да. It's like a symbolic, thing. Yeah. It's in Ukrainian. It's called вышиванка. Yeah, it's a traditional one.
Oh, nice. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, some other questions?
Thanks again.
Thank you all for coming. Yeah.
Oh, 1 second. One
Question.
We had heard your favorite part about being here and coming to America for the first time. What about Yulia's favorite thing since she's been here? We hadn't heard from her.
Пребывания в Америке, что тебе больше всего понравилось? To be with me, you know? She is my partner in crime, actually. As the man cannot leave the country, I decided this April that I will go. Even if I need to go alone, I don't know how I will conduct it, but I will do this. And Yulia is going with me for the trade show in Germany every year, and she knows perfectly the products and the approach to that. But the approach to the products, you know better than me, actually. And the products, how it should be settled. And she's my partner in crime. She's my support big, and I just have the possibility to have our small team here. Thank you all for coming.
Okay.